kind of nice for tonight.
It'll be perfect. I'll be looking forward to seeing the highlights. That's the best part, just seeing the montage of the highlights, the big hits, the catches, the celebrations, and it's nice to see that, you know, this is actually kind of a nice preview of hopefully many more Friday Night Lights down the road, because some of these days can be a bit of a doozy with some high heat in August, and fortunately that's not the case for us for your first and 10 forecast. We're going to be looking at temperatures that'll be hanging out generally into the mid-70s, so this is something we would more or less expect, you know, going into second half of September, and hopefully we can see much more of in the month of September. But here we are looking ahead, going into this evening by around warm-up time, 6, 7 o'clock. Those temperatures will be generally into the mid-70s, but falling into the low 70s and perhaps even a handful of locations into the 60s as you're heading out from a lot of those ball games tonight. So weather will be fantastic for that. And of course, in between there, it's looking wonderful as well. 71 degrees, our current temperature. Winds have been light out of the north-northwest at 8 miles an hour. You might have already noticed, too, that it feels very refreshing out. The dew point has been dropping as the temperature has been rising. The more separation we get, typically we'll see the drier the air is, and we will continue to see temperatures probably climb another 5 degrees or so heading into the afternoon. Currently 72 in McConnellsville, 72 in Newark, 71 in Delaware, 71 in Marysville, still 69 degrees in Urbana, and into the upper 60s up north towards Bucyrus and Mansfield. The only thing, of course, that that we can mention that could be a little inconvenient for you is the fact the pollen count's relatively high with respect to ragweed. Typically this time of the year, that's where it could be most bothersome for those of you that are sensitive to that allergy. Otherwise, we'll continue to see this nice light breeze out of the northwest shape up to bring in more dry air as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures will continue to hang out into the mid-70s for us, so staying pretty nice as we head into this evening. And again, looking at just a little bit of cloud coverage heading into the early part of the night. Other than that, you can pretty much put the umbrella to rest for maybe the next week or so, because we are looking at quite the change in our forecast, and especially as you wake up tomorrow morning. Look at these temperatures. We got many areas actually into the 40s, so a little bit of a chilly start to the weekend for us, but that will soon change because we have something that is just setting over parts of the southern plains into the middle of the country called the heat dome, as we like to call it. It's essentially just a large area of high pressure that is lifting up parts of the jet stream, which is ushering in hotter, more humid air into central Ohio as we head into next week. Now, with this circulation, of course, we're going to be staying dry, being in proximity, but you might not think about what's happening into the western part of the country. What we're going to be seeing with this setup with the hot conditions here in Ohio is going to be a part, not the reason why, but a part of the system that's driving our weather is what's going to be driving Hurricane Hilary, which still, as a major Category 4 hurricane, moving northwest at 10 miles an hour. This is moving west of Mexico, but you can see we have hurricane warnings that are actually, and even tropical storm watches extended into southwestern parts of California. So you might think, well, this is weakening. That'll be great. But the problem is there might be a potential for it to linger a little bit closer to the Pacific waters, which is just going to allow for an unprecedented amount of rainfall. We're talking, 8 to 12 inches of rain, which you might not think is a lot, but for an arid climate, much like Southern California, we could be looking at, a year or more's worth of rain in less than 48 hours. But on the flip side for us, we're just dealing with the high heat to humidity, highs on either side of 90 degrees, but really not noticeably humid until we head into Monday, but still toasty nonetheless on Sunday with highs into the upper 80s.